Let's load up our next episode. Relaxing bathhouse and the sharing of bodily fluids. I remember I got comments of people being like disgusted. I before this episode aired, or right as it aired, I remember watching this with Jacoba, Ryan, and Ash and stuff. And I remember they were like by looking at the the spit stuff that happened in this episode. You'll see soon enough what I'm talking about. Let's load it up. Let it load for a bit. It was a fun episode to make as well. What are these titles? I know, right, Sora? Yeah. Isn't it nice? You want people to click on your thing. How to get people to click? That's the big question in being a YouTuber. How on earth do I get people to click on my episode? So, relaxing bathhouse and the sharing of bodily fluids is like, that might be something that people are interested enough to click on. So I was like, yeah, let's go for that. That seems like a great idea. Sharing of bodily fluids. So immediately we have here where me and Tails were just sharing a relaxing bath with each other. We were in the world there. I think I remember joining Jacoba in this world. Jacoba was streaming during while all this was happening as well. Crumpster was there, and a lot of people were in this room, just hanging out. I've never been in this room ever since this recording. Nurfee. Let's go full screen.
If I ever get with you alone, I will do this to you.
Oh, look at it bounce.
Oh my gosh!
It seemed so forceful, it couldn't even fit. You need to give it time, honey. Enough lubrication would help everything.
Enough lubrication can help absolutely everything.
What do you mean lubrication? This is enough.
Well, not when you're that tight, apparently.
Not when you're that tight. So that was like before Tails was ever streaming. So this is like a long time ago after all. Tails was not streaming during these days. Now Tails is becoming a big old streamer. Actually, it's been for a while. He's just been streaming and streaming and streaming. Doing a good job. Over on Twitch. Let's jump on over.
Do you want some?
Do you want some?
Oh
yeah.
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 It's the good kush right there.
Yes.
Hello.
The good kush.
The God Emperor is with us today. Thank you.
Heresy!
I'll show you heresy. Me and Slanesh was having a good time last night. You know, the best of times.
And for people who don't know, Slanesh is a chaos god in the Warhammer 40k universe. One that is, let's say, all about sexual acts and defiling things. So when a space marine hears that I'm being hanging out with Slanesh, my god, the heresy!
Slanesh is a dirty one, I'll tell you that.
You fucking heretic.
That's true. Nurfee, I wish to get close to you, but I can't.
Oh, I got clam slammed right there.
I wish to get close to you, but I can't.
Hello, Nurfee.
Bam!
Oh my.
Oh, Nurfee, your bird is in the way.
It always is.
The bird is always in the way.
Stop it, Nurfee. I understand.
I join in the world, and the first thing I hear when I join this world with Fyshman, Emmett, and stuff and Mad. I see Mad there, and is this sound. I'm like, what the fuck is going on in that corner? Like, what? I actually realized later on, like way later on, that Krauger, Dr. Krauger, which is in this fat, like whatever, the father of Bam Margera avatar, he has a animation where he has a tiny version of himself or something like that, and squeals like a pig that he can breastfeed to himself. It's just a wonderful, disgusting avatar overall.
What on earth did I just walk into? I'm not complaining, but this is curious.
Oh, Nurfee, you joined at the exact wrong time, dude.
Exact wrong time.
Or is it the exact right time?
Your favorite creep, is it,
I
man?
recognize that broken nose.
That was Nia the hyena that had this the little lolly there. Ship lolly. And they had a nose that was kind of looking kind of off. It didn't look quite right. Let's continue.
We're cooking Emmett wants some.
We're cooking Emmett, so that's why they're making a fire.
There was imprint on your pelvis, I see. Oh, how did that happen?
I know how that happened.
Oh, I know.
You
Solve
know.
the mystery.
Oh my god. You're so cute.
Alright, let's
so
do
kawaii.
trades.
So this is when the weird spit thing started happening. When Krauger, I don't know why, but Krauger says a lot of things, weird things. It's nothing weird there. So he's like, yeah, okay. So let's let you spit in my mouth and I'll spit in yours or something like that. Utterly disgusting, but of course the pimp will play along because I'm in the pimp. Why wouldn't I play along?
Alright, ready? Alright, now you do me. Come on.
That wasn't good enough for him. He had to have a more.
Swirling it around in my mouth.
I
Pretty
can't come
good.
unless you spit on my...
He said, "I can't come unless you spit on my face, dude." So I had to make a even more realistic spit sound.
Hey, gotta get right
I
in my
did
eyes.
just okay, right in your eyes.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Did you
I've
actually
made
spit?
that mistake before, like doing the fake spit at people. I fucking spit on my laptop or on my fucking monitor once.
That's nasty.
It was not cool.
Depends what you're into, but it gets filthy after a while.
Oh my god.
It's like the fourth dirtiest thing that's been on my monitor.
The fourth dirtiest thing that's been on Krauger's monitor is his own spit. What are the what are the three other things?
Fourth dirtiest. Is number one actual shit? I wonder.
What's number 2 and 3?
Oh, you know exactly what number 2 is.
So number 2 is
Number
shit.
3, that's a mystery.
That's a mystery.
What's on here?
It's a pillow.
Like every time Tails was throwing a pillow or whatever kind of thing that was in the fucking hot tub out of the hot tub or the bath here, every time he did that, one of the other people around was throwing it back in, so it was infinite amount of pillows underneath the water.
Why do you have a...
You never know when you need it.
What's down there? What is all these things that I'm finding, Nurfee?
Well,
Yo, I wanna have sex with you. Oh, I see stuffed things and animals. What the fuck, Nurfee?
well, I was thirsty.
You lied to me. You said it was big and it was just a bottle. Why do you have pillows in there? Are these cushions for your fucking nuts? I swear to God.
You know it, baby.
They're
There's so
sensitive.
Nurfee.
Oh, there we go.
Anyone willing to serve the Emperor is welcome.
This whole recording here in this presentation room, I remember, was when Ashanera was streaming, and I came in there. The first, you can see later on in the episode, the first thing that happened when I came into the room was a whole bunch of penguins surrounding me and just trying to beak me to death with their beaks.
Come among my ranks.
I'll serve him every day and night.
Arrgh!
That's amazing.
my old avatar where I'm constantly dancing. And once he heard or saw, once he saw that avatar, because it was somebody else that wanted to see that. I think it was this guy. He asked me because he was a fan, and he came up to me and like, "Hey, can you show me that avatar?" And I'm like, "Oh, sure, okay, I can do that." And this guy was like, literally dying. I was kind of getting afraid for him because he was laughing for such a long time.
Well, they're there.
And that laugh.
I've never heard a laugh quite like yours.
Yo, are these for your butt cheeks? I swear to God. Yo, these fucking body pillows! Is this Ryan? Why do you have Ryan down here?
Well, for good luck, of course.
Why do you have tomatoes here? What the fuck is this?
Damn, how many pillows?
Until you need it. How many pillows do you have in here?
All of them!
How much protection do you need for your nuts?
They're very
is there
vulnerable.
A bunch of lollies hitting your fucking nuts?
You have no idea.
What the fuck?
It's a hazard, okay?
Nurfee, look to your right.
I know.
And then we have Dog. I gave Great Dog my avatar so he can make because Great Dog is constantly making like his own versions of everyone's avatars. So of course he wanted my avatar as well. So I made a Great Dog. I don't think he's fixed that disappearing hand thing, even to this day, because there was never a point. Why go back to the old avatar and fix it? No.
Oh, what the fuck?
Where'd you come up with this?
Isn't he fabulous?
He's got the face.
So fabulous. Good look at you. Snuggly.
Such a pretty man.
You too.
Sort of pretty man.
I'll get the cacodemon.
That was fucking awesome.
See, this guy knows. This guy gets it.
Air has all the best freaking Doom and like 2D avatars and just game avatars that he has. He's also the person that had the Half-Life Doctor that was shown in the previous video with when I first met Kerry.
Got it.
And this right here was right before I think we were going to do a murder mystery, like an impromptu murder mystery event with Ikriam as a host. Ikriam and Sabers were just standing in a world, and I went up to them and was like, "Hey, what's going on?" Not much. I was just talking about. I think they were talking about some like scaring thing they did with Joey, like Nags, because Ikriam had recently scared Nags somehow or some way, and Nags wanted to take revenge, and he sent a bunch of Hopus to Ikriam because Ikriam still do kind of, but he really fucking used to hate Hopus. Like they used to freak him the fuck out. Like Ikriam used to call Hopus the ugliest thing ever. So he's like always like getting freaked out by them. And the Hopus, of course, loved to torment Ikriam, going around staring at him. And they were just talking about like getting back at Joey. And that's this is also recorded before the fly raid ever took place. So this is when Sabers, the person who actually had the fly avatar and gave me that avatar, he was the person that arranged the fly raid because he had the big fly. So this is before the fly raid took place, even though this episode is taking place 2 episodes later on than that episode, you know. And this is still just an avatar. Like whenever Error goes into the Doom avatar he has, one of the Doom avatars he has, because he has multiple Doom avatars. When he does that, your vision becomes that of the start area of Doom.
Oh, is that the tank?
And this is actually where I first had gone up to Grim and Sabers, where they were just talking about that shit, about Nags. And the other people kept joining as well, of course. And one of the people who joined was this guy with Left 4 Dead avatar, the tank. The
Yeah,
cute
that's the
little
tank.
one.
A very tiny
Very
tank.
small tank.
Hey, little tank buddy. Hey. Coochie coo. How cute. Oh no. Oh, you're so brute. Climb me, honey. Can I have you as a pet? That would be wonderful.
I didn't expect him to fucking remember.
I would like a little pet like this.
Because I honestly
They also had a witch avatar, I remember, from Left 4 Dead.
Okay, then I know what your problem is.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah. Fuck you. Fyshman. And here we have the weird bug that I've actually had this happen later on, and this is probably not Andis. This is just somebody else, because this avatar was also starting to take off, and a lot of people were starting to make avatars like this. But back then there used to be like a bug. So when I switched between 2 avatars of different heights, like very different heights, and I then went into it and I ducked or whatever, you would duck way too low and the movement looked weird weird as hell, so I got this crab move.
Look at me running around.
It looks so fucking weird.
Look crab. Look at me.
I'm just a crab.
Oh no.
Since I noticed that I could do that on purpose, this bug, I was doing that. So I joined another world with Leroy and Shadow. I think it was Shadow at least. No, it was Leroy and Gamma and Baka Ranger. Many of you might not know that Lolly Squad is actually a dancing group, so they go around dancing and playing music. So yeah, of course they're just a group of friends, but yeah. So I joined them and decided to join in on the dance. Yeah.
Really right. Hey Gamma, hey Baka Ranger.
Still laughing.
Isn't it a turn on? I think I might be enjoying. I think I might.
Oh my, that's quite something you got there. What did I just walk
This is when I spawn into the world that Ash was streaming in.
in on?
Flesh-eating penguin arm.
Flesh-eating penguin army.
Yes.
What is this?
Eat Nurfee. Eat
Oh,
Nurfee.
poke me. Ah. Oh my. I thought it was enough when it was just Emmett, but this is glorious.
The penguin noises that Ash is making. He's not making like. But no.
Indeed.
Somebody making choking noises.
Too strong.
He's too strong.
Run. Run, penguin.
Run from the walking
pick it out of the sky.
airplane.
Just playing.
And here we have Arcane. They are also a person I gave my avatar to, because they were supposed to make a Pimp Mobile, but they never made it. They were supposed to be, or at least that was the idea. I gave them my avatar so they could make like a car avatar. Car avatars was all the rage back then. So everyone had to have a car avatar, but I never got it because they never finished it. Where they were gonna have this car avatar where I'm just they're gonna have like hydraulics for the car, so I could bounce up and down while I sat in the car with that avatar and like do. So that's was gonna be cool, but it never happened. story of my life. An avatar is supposed to be made, but it never gets made. Fucking hell. But this one got made though, where they had a little toy Nurfee. And they got a recording from me saying, hello.
Oh, weren't you 2D?
You can't kill Nurfee.
I have multiple versions of it.
Tiny little Nurfee.
Yeah, some people do. But
Now I can give touching myself a new meaning.
some people block you, whatever.
Whatever you do, you don't play music like a fucking jukebox.
Oh yeah, I don't ever play music.
Yeah,
I hate those people.
My personal like two cents on it.
You egg yourself. Oh my.
None of that works. Let me.
This is... I don't know if everyone here has seen Ash and Nera's video where Ash is fixing up my face. He's using his chainsaw and he's like using his knife on my teeth and stuff. And then I switch over to my little sister avatar. This is right after that took place, and we're just hanging out in the MMD world. We were doing like Backstreet Boys stuff, I remember, like the Backstreet's back, alright! We were doing that song together and stuff. It was really funny, but we never really got recorded.
Try. Hey Ash. How are you doing? What about little kissy? Mwah. Oh, you like that, did you?
I don't remember why Ash was not talking, but...
Boopy. Oh, thank you.
That's something I don't know.
Very nice. Oh, you love me. I love you too. In death, you become so much more tame. I like that.
And Ash's like thought train here for why he's not afraid of me is because he's dead. So if he's already dead, apparently when he's dead he has nothing to fear from me because I kill people, question mark? I don't really do that, but hey, apparently he has nothing to fear from me while he's dead. So that's why he's docile in this avatar, the zombie Ash. Then I could pet
Such a
him.
cutie. I guess I have to build my own crypt for you.
Build like a tomb for Ash because
You can have your very own coffin. On me, of course.
And there we have the end of the episode again. I always used to had a lot of like things I wanted to include in the episode, which I often used as the outro screen. So here we have a recording or whatever. This is the same bathhouse that I was with Tails earlier, but I was also doing a dab battle with Fiji. This is an old avatar Fiji used. And here, this is a fan art that got drawn for me right after the other episode, the RP episode, where I'm killing all the people in my little sister avatar. So, because in that episode you have somebody saying that I'm gonna be sitting on top of a mountain of skulls. Where have you been? I've been killing everyone. So that's why that fan art got made. Then we have my Hoppo avatar. This might be... No, I think there's one more fan art of my Hoppo avatar, but other than that, there's nothing else. Which is fine, I don't use my Hoppo avatar all that often. After all, it's not like one of my main avatars at all. It's just something I made because everyone has to have a Hoppo. Ashanera probably has seen 100 of Nurfees in hell for her punishment, so seeing only Nurfee didn't scare her. Yeah, probably. Is that? Yeah, there's no more other fan art in this episode. Ooh. Yay! Ooh. Stretchy, stretchy. That's that for that episode, eh? Ooh.
I want to give a special thanks to my Nerf Lords, Radha and Øystein Støylen. If you want a special shout out as well as other special bonuses, please go check out my Patreon over at patreon.com/Nurfee.